I believe some more people coming in. I just want to make sure Jordan's on here. I see Jordan's phone. So let me make sure that's our speaker, which I could go ahead and get started anyway. But Jordan, if you're on here, give me a little something in the comments. Let me know you're the right Jordan. Okay, she's here. Yay. All right, welcome everybody. I am so excited to get to be the intro, little person in charge. I love that. Tonight for Reds Plus. And my name is Mindy LeBlanc, in case you don't know me, and I am the director of the Bloom Unit. We are wrapping up our final month of our very first year. So super excited. This is an exclusive event for our Red Jackets. So it's a really big deal, like huge that you are a Red Jacket. But we also get some guests on here, our plus one. So if you are a Red Jacket, you may be wanting to move on up to DIQ and director. If you are not a Red Jacket yet and you are on here, then this is your moment, because we are saying like, hey, you are already on the path. So you're headed in the right direction if you are the queen of sales for your unit or of sharing. So wonderful, wonderful job. This is a great place to be. Okay. So first we're going to start off with some reco. Let's first of all have a little wave from all of our Red Jackets. If you are a current Red Jacket, I'm going to scooch over so I can see y'all waving at us. I see one of my Red Jackets. Give us a little wave. All right, good. And normally we would say if we have new Red Jackets, but we don't this month. So position available for all of you that are on here. If you do not have your Red Jacket, we would love to have you back next month as a Red Jacket with your Red Jacket on. All right. So then also we have units that might have Red Jackets that have a certain amount of production. So we have 2 units that have a Red Jacket with $1,000 or more already at this point in the month. And that is Tammy Brown from the Grace Girls unit and Lauren Chapman from the Overcomers. Yay. And then we also have somebody who already has $2,000 in production, and that is Elizabeth Hollis with the New Legacy. Great job, everybody. Okay. Then I am so excited to introduce our guest speaker for tonight. I'm super excited to hear from her. She's a mom. She's a hard worker. She does all the things. We got to meet at Hot Springs last year. So if you're like, where'd y'all meet in Hot Springs? It's like the Beach Bash, but we were in Hot Springs. It was just as much fun. So if I'm telling you, okay, if you're on target for the Beach Bash, I want you to just do like this. Grab onto it. Don't let go until you've got sand between your toes, okay? Because you want to be at the Beach Bash. It is so much fun. And we want everybody there that possibly can be there, because it is just an amazing time of fellowship and fun. So without any further ado, we are going to hear from Jordan Allen. So Jordan, you can unmute yourself. Everybody else go ahead and mute so that we can hear her. And I can't wait to hear what she has to say.
Thank you, Mindy. Hey, y'all. Okay, so I'm Jordan Allen. I don't have my red jacket just because I live in Nebraska now and it's in storage. So I don't know why I didn't bring it with me. I should have. But anyways, so I have been a red for a few months now, but recently I've decided to go for directorship. And so that's been my focus, my goal, and the thing that I'm trying to finish. And so right now I just have 3 more to go and I'm there. And so to DIQ. So that's where I'm at in my business. And so I guess I'll start off by saying like the things that I think that have been helping me see more faces lately has been facial boxes. And so I know some people call them fish bowls, I think. But if you're new and you don't know what a facial box is, it's basically just getting this 99-cent box at Hobby Lobby. And I just cut a slit in the top for entry slips to go into. And then I print out, we have these, Crystal sent them to me, their files to print out to put on the top of the facial box, and it's a way for people to put their name and their number and all their info in to get entries to like a gift card and a free facial with you. And so I have the files I could send, which I know a lot of people probably already have them, but you just paste that on the front and you tie, like I usually get these 99-cent, it's a 2-pack of ribbons from Hobby Lobby. So literally the total is $2 to make these. And I put cute little ribbons on the side. I should have grabbed one. I don't know why I didn't. But I put 2 little ribbons on the side and I tie a pin on one side and I tie the entries on one side, on the other side. And then people just like rip that off, fill their stuff out, drop it in the box. And I check them weekly. I have 3 out right now. I have a lot of cool places I find are at coffee shops. I have one at a nutrition tea place. So I think I have two at a coffee shop and then one at a tea place. But nail salons, boutiques, children's boutiques. I even had like Aaron Simpson told me like an oil change place because women love to find something for themselves at oil change places that are mostly for like men. So like even places like that could work and you just basically follow up with everyone. Like I go check them weekly and I'll get the slips and I have like scripts that I have strictly for facial box so we can send those out too if somebody needs those. But typically what they say is just like, hey, you won my giveaway, blah blah blah, you entered your name in at this place. Like I usually when I grab them I write on the back like where I grabbed them from so I don't not know who put their name in at that place. So I'll say like, for example, I have one at it's called Uptown Java. I was like, hey, so and so, you entered your name recently at Uptown Java, blah 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 blah. So we have those scripts, and you just basically go through the scripts, and then one of them, like after you get them set and booked for their facial with you, I have a script that comes next that says like, oh hey, if you want to bring a friend with you, your sets gift card will double from 15 to 30. Would you like to bring a few friends with you? And then if they say yes, then it turns into a party. If they say no, it's still a one-on-one and it's like more personal that way. And I feel like that's where a lot of my like team members would come from would be one-on-ones. And then if they book a party, then great. So I've been setting my goal for 30 faces every month. And so far I've had like 23 this month. It's been crazy. I won't say I've had a huge sales month. I think that after Christmas, a lot of people aren't buying a lot. So, but I have been seeing a lot of people and having a ton of bookings. So a lot of that has came from facial boxes. And then I wrote down too that I always use the shopping sheet at the facials, even if it's a one-on-one. The Princess Queen Cadillac, that shopping sheet, and we can send that out too. I'm sure that's somewhere. Um, and then on the back, like I laminate my sheets. So on the back, I have the like the opportunity, like the sign up options. I put like I laminate them together to where they could just flip it and they can see on the back like if they wanted to sign up how much it costs. And so I always share the opportunity last and I go through the party board and just let them answer the questions and all that. And then following up with them is key. And so I always try to like the most I usually wait is like 2 days. And then I'll just follow up with them again if someone hasn't responded to me. And usually people are like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to text you. So like usually that's the case is that they're not ghosting you, they just forgot. So that's why I give like a couple days because I don't want to be like text, text, text. So I usually wait a couple days. And then layering them. I know we've always heard the layering sheet. So that really does work. So like if you're looking to add team members, layering is a great way because I know one of them is showing products to them. So then meeting with you, they're already going to have one layer. And then usually like one of my touch texts, I have 3 touch texts that I send like 3 days before, 2 days before, but day before and day of. So I guess it's 4. And then the day before, I ask them to watch our video, whichever video you use. That's the one I send, the marketing video. So that's another layer. And then if they host a party with you, that's another one. And so usually, like I want to say, like 2 or 3 layers, they usually want to sign up typically. So that's just kind of my things that have been helping me lately. But I do want to say is the main thing that has gotten me through it is like just your mindset. And this is what Crystal has taught me so much because I can get down in the dumps, believe me. Like I will just get that like bad thought in my head and just like get down in the dumps with it. And so literally I have learned that the mindset is like literally the most important thing is if you believe what your mind tells you, then that's going to be your truth. And so if you're believing what the enemy's telling you, then that's the way you're going to live. But if you believe the truths that God tells you, then that's how you're going to live. And so I wrote down here like mindset's what really matters. So instead of saying like this is where I've struggled before, I'm still working on this. Is instead of saying like I'm trying for this goal or I hope I finish by the end of the month. We ain't saying that no more. I've been told before by Crystal for sure is no, we're not saying I'm trying. We're not saying I'm hoping. We're saying I am. I am going to finish strong. I am a sales director and it's already been ordained. It's already been said. The Lord spoke on that, so it's going to happen. So stop saying it will like happen eventually. It will happen now if you say that. And so, and I also said this too, is to stay true to your vision and what motivates you. So I'll just ask you this, like, what is motivating you? Are you wanting to add one more team member, become a red, become a sales director, like whatever that is that's motivating you? Stay true to that and keep the faith to that and know that that will happen. Because yeah, I'm reading the comments. Mindset is definitely a thing that we struggle with the most. And so, yeah, keep that vision in mind and let that push you towards your goal, and don't give up. Like, even when the enemy is coming at you like crazy, which he has to me this month, I've had more no's than I've had forever and this month. And so I have been literally in a slump where I feel like I just didn't know where I would go after this, because I've had 4 no's or people back out and just a lot of bad stuff happened to me this month. But I have had to literally keep the faith and know that there is light found in the darkness. And so I've had to push through that and just not give up, because if we look at our perspective of anything in life, our perspective is so small. Like, we see everything through like a picture frame lens, but God has a bigger perspective of life than us. He sees everything like a landscape view from a higher viewpoint. So he can see the beginning, the middle, and the end, where we can only see the negative things that are happening in our present, like right now. So whatever has been going on this month that's negative for me, it's all the no's and not a lot of sales this month. So like all the things that have been going on this month, I don't see what's going to happen in the end. I don't see what's going to happen after that no. Like, after that no could come a bunch of yeses. I don't know, but God does, and he knows that he can see, like I said, the beginning, middle, and the end. So he sees that, yeah, maybe you're going through something negative right now, but he sees what you're going to get to. He sees that finish line. He sees that end goal, and he can see, yeah, she's going through this right now because she's learning and she's growing and she's going to get through it, and this is where she's going to go. This is where she's going to end up. And so I've had to keep my mind on that is, Jordan, you don't know. Like, you don't know what the end is going to look like. And so that's what's motivating me and pushing me, because I know that I know what God says of me. And so I wrote down a few scriptures. I know that everybody probably knows Ephesians 3:20. I know that's Pam's favorite, but I read through the Passion Translation, so this might sound a little different than the way I've heard it before, but I wrote this down, and it says, this is Ephesians 3:20. Never doubt God's mighty power to work in you and accomplish all things. He will achieve infinitely more than your greatest request, your most unbelievable dream, and exceed your wildest imagination. He will outdo them all, for his miraculous power constantly energizes you. Like, how good is that? Like, just knowing that he knows what's in our hearts. He knows like what we're dreaming, and it may seem unbelievable to us. Like, that's why I just love this translation. It just speaks more to me. And then I also wrote this down, Psalm 16:5-6. It says, Yahweh, you alone are my inheritance. You are my prize, my pleasure, and my portion. You hold my destiny and its timing in your hands. Your pleasant path leads me to pleasant places. I'm overwhelmed by the privileges that come with following you. So just knowing that the timing is in his hands, and that's something that I have literally heard from God recently. Like, yesterday I had to get out, go to TJ Maxx, get my mind set right, and have a little alone time and pray and just listen to worship music in my car and just cried out. And so gave it all to him, and that's the word that I heard from him was timing. And that's so true. It's like what I said earlier. We don't know what our future looks like. Only God does, and it's in his timing. And so I wrote it down, put it in God's hands, and surrendered it to him, because we cannot do it on our own. Like, I know we know that. We cannot make our own plans. He's already ordained it in his timing. Just trust in him. For example, I already said this before. Our perspective view is like looking through a small window, while God's is like seeing the entire landscape from a higher viewpoint. With our limited perspective, we often focus on immediate concerns or struggles. With God's eternal perspective is being outside of time, seeing the beginning, middle, and end of every life, which allows him to understand the bigger picture and how negative events can be for a greater good. And so, yes, it stinks that we're going through these slumps in our business or in life, but he sees that for the greater good and knows that we can get through it with him. And so the last thing that I want to share is something that Crystal told me to do today. And I just thought this was crazy because, like I said, this past month has just been kind of a little negative for me. And I have tried to see the positive in everything, even though I've gotten down in the dumps a lot. But I sometimes will let the enemy sneak in these little thoughts in my mind and just get upset with them. And so Crystal told me to do this. And so I did, and I wrote it down. But to draw a line in the middle of a page and write that lie that's on the side and write the truth on this side, which could be like even scripture to verify that that is a lie and that this is what God says about me. So this is what I wrote because this is kind of how I've been feeling. I just thought it was wild that Mindy had asked me to speak on this when I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm just going to trust in God and I'm going to do it and I'm going to pray about it. And so I had been feeling kind of discouraged of myself lately. And I'm like, am I even a good enough leader? Like, are people saying no to me because they don't want to join me, or is it something that I'm doing wrong? And so, of course, that's the enemy speaking these lies over me, and it's not true. And so I had to put those negative thoughts out of my mind. And so Crystal told me to do this exercise. So I would say to anybody that's going through something like this, try this because it really did help me, especially before coming on here and speaking to y'all about what's helping me when I feel like I'm not even doing the best right now. But you know what? I'm not giving up and I'm keeping the faith and I'm going to find the light in the darkness. So, speaking to my own self. So, I hope this helps me as much as it's helping you. But this is what she told me to do is write the lie on this side and then the truth on the other side. So, what I wrote was the lie that I've been hearing is I'm not a good enough leader or that I'm not good enough. And so the truth, Psalms 139:14. I thank you, God, for making me so mysteriously complex. Everything you do is marvelously breathtaking. It simply amazes me to think about it. How thoroughly you know me, Lord. And I said, yes, I am good enough. He made me in his image, so why wouldn't I be? He made me to be like him. And so why am I speaking these things over myself when I'm supposed to be made in his image? So, no, that is not true. We are good enough and we will finish strong. And so I also wrote this. Crystal has also told me this before, and it just stuck with me because it's so good and so true. Y'all may have heard it before, but if the enemy can cut the head off the snake, it doesn't even have to worry about the rest of the body. If he can cut the head off, he can kill the rest of the body. So, in other terms, if the enemy can stop me where I'm at, he don't have to worry about my teammates or my future teammates or anybody that comes behind me or anybody that I could literally share the opportunity with. Like, he's going to stop me. He can stop everybody else because I know Pam said this, like, your dream is attached to somebody else. So there are people on your team and there are people that are just watching you right now that are looking up to you. And I cannot be the one that's going to give up and then hurt the people behind me. So no, I'm not going to let the enemy win and I'm going to keep pushing forward. And so that is what I had to share with y'all. And I really hope that it touched y'all in some way and it like helps you get through whatever you're going through because it's definitely what I've been trying to keep in the front of my mind because I know we all go through things like this. And if you are considering being a red or you are red, like I would say, just keep going, keep pushing through it. Stay in touch with your director because Crystal keeps me going literally. And thank God she was able to speak to me today because yesterday I was having a day and it was just all God's timing on what she had to speak with me today. And it happened to be on her Sabbath. So yeah, of course I had to pray to God because I couldn't talk to Crystal. So that just, it was all God's timing and tied into my word too. So like, I hope that really, really did touch some of y'all. I know it did for me.
Oh my gosh, Jordan, my mind is going crazy with all the ways this has touched me. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for sharing. And I just appreciate your yes, because that is the first step down any path. It's just like, I don't know, but yes. So if
Yep.
you've been for my journey at all, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna look right at you and I'm gonna say, Jordan is a sales director. And I want you to start saying that to yourself because you absolutely, I 100% believe in you. And I cannot wait to celebrate your finish. Y'all, oh my gosh, I know y'all are affirming her in the comments already, but I mean, like, wow, like I have like so many notes and they were all like, this is it. Like, this is the meat and potatoes of everything about our business, like follow ups, layering.
Yeah.
Do the four touches, because if you're going to book something, you might as well coach it, right? I mean, like, I'm hearing all these little Mary Kay wisdoms that we have, we're always pouring over each other and it runs over and out the top. And the number one thing I was like, Jordan, thank you for talking to your director and listening to her. I heard that over and over again. Crystal says, I'm all the time saying, well, Devin told me, Devin said this. And, because if you go to your director and let her help you, that is key to so many things. That is what we are here for. And I know that you're going to do that someday for other people. You're already doing it. If you are a senior consultant, y'all, you are already leading. So it's not any different. You just add more people, but it's the same thing. And I heard this at, it was career conference. I think it was my very first career conference. So it wasn't in person, it was virtual. And they had like a red jacket room, and I had just become a red jacket like that weekend. And she said, you already know what to do. If you want to be a director, you already know what to do. Just do the same thing over and over again. So I heard so many great things like about mindset. And thank you for telling us about the facial box. I came out of a facial box. So I need to get some facial boxes out. Thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to tell you this, and this is for everybody. I had to learn this lesson because, with a bloom unit, nothing blooms all the time. I want to, as a 3 Enneagram, I want to succeed at everything. And I want to do the best at everything. And I want to do everything all the time for everybody. But that's not my calling. So this was so good. Thank y'all so much. And is there anybody that wants to just like unmute, like if Crystal's on here or any of the other directors?
Yes. Yes. I was like, me, Mindy, me first. Okay, Jordan, I'm so grateful. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to. I've already decided. I am so grateful for you. I am so grateful for your leadership and your commitment and for coming in here and being so real and open and honest, because, it is so easy for us to talk about all the encouraging things and, to pour in and just pour that belief. But sometimes we need to share the real deal and the nitty gritty. And that's what you did for us tonight. And you walked us through where you were at, and you were open, because you're not the only person feeling that. And I know so many of us needed to hear what you said tonight, needed that exercise, needed the just from the tangible, like the facial box, do this, the layering, all the way to the personal spirit, like real deal depth part. And so just thank you, thank you, thank you. I adore who you are. I seriously cannot wait to celebrate you for how I already see you as my offspring sales director. And I to walk across that stage with these pink jackets together, this seminar is going to be a dream come true. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Okay, I'm gonna go, but
just kidding. Pam, go.
Go ahead. Okay.
No, you go, Pam.
Okay.
You can go.
I'm gonna go first, Care Beth, because I'm
Go
trying not
first.
to cry. Yeah. I was like, if Crystal starts crying, I'm gonna lose it. I know Crystal's face hurts from smiling so big and so proud of you. I know it does. And
Don't.
I love who you are already. I love the leader that you are. I love watching you when you have the most unique ability to receive information in the way you observe things. And I love the way your brain works. Y'all don't know this, or you may know this, but Jordan was the one who, with her party, single-handedly, didn't even know it, started the movement of the parties that you've seen in the last couple of years in our area, and really pivoted Crystal's and mine's, I'll just say our attitudes without going into about what that party looked like, and started just truly a movement, and didn't even know at the time. But I'm so grateful that God planted in your heart the desire to be a charter bowl director in our finish, because I cannot even begin to imagine the women that he is going to entrust to you to be their leader, and how blessed they will be, and how blessed we will be just by your influence and your perspective and your courage and your faith. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful. I love you. I know you know I love you, but I love you. Thank you for, like Mindy said, thank you for your yes tonight, and everything Crystal said, ditto, ditto. We're just so excited.
Thank you. Love you too, Pam.
Jordan, I've been so excited to hear you all day. I know you know because I texted you. You're going to be so great. And you were. Oh my gosh,
Thank
so
you.
incredible and so Holy Spirit honoring and driven. It was so obvious to all of us. And I hope that you have a chance to like screenshot all the comments because I know it's hard to look at them, but the encouragement, oh my gosh, that these women have been giving you it truly reflects all of our hearts because I think I can jointly speak for all of us when I say we needed that tonight. We needed you. We needed the word that God spoke through you. And I need that Passion Translation because those scriptures just hit me in such a good way. And while you were talking, one of our scriptures from a devotion several of us are doing this week was, 1 Thessalonians 5:24, he who calls you is faithful and he will do it. So I know that on February 1st, I cannot freaking wait for the bold ascent so that I can see your face on that graphic because you are going to be a bold Diakio on February 1st. I know you are, and I know that you know that it's just a decision. And here's why I'm so confident, not because of all your perfect, amazing facial box and the things you're doing and seeing the faces. Yes, you're doing the right things, but because you constantly kept saying, Crystal said this, and Crystal was reminding me of this. And guess what? That's what we're all about. Crystal, as amazing as she is, can only go so far. There are people the Lord has called you to reach that are beyond Crystal's reach. And He is paying that forward and taking what you've learned, and He's going to do things through other people that you maybe haven't even met yet, and their dreams are already attached to yours because you've been attached to the bold dream. Oh my gosh. When I saw that in my mind, I was just so excited for you and so excited for anybody on this Zoom that wants leadership because that's really what it's all about. And gosh, Crystal must be a stellar director. The whole time you were saying, she says this, she said that. She's amazing. And so you're so blessed to have her, and she's so blessed to have you. And you're right. Those are lies from the enemy because you are called to lead, and you are a worthy director. And you, as Mindy said, Jordan is a bold sales director. I'm so excited for you. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.
I want to say something real quick to you, Jordan. First of all, so proud of you for seeing 23 faces this month because it just comes out in the math, right? Like you're going to hit 30. I just know you can this week. So good for you because you've moved a couple of times and your family is all here, right? And so I'm so proud of you. But along with the move, when you said, well, I've seen 23 faces, but my sales haven't been that great. It reminded me of Jamie Taylor because she saw 30 faces one time. And she said, my sales weren't that great. Like they were average, they were okay. It wasn't anything to like write home about. But from those 30 faces, it's like a stupid amount. Like 6 of her sales directors for her national area came from that.
Wow.
Sales weren't great, but she can trace those sales directors back to that. And I truly believe that you'll be at 13 sales directors came from that. I believe you'll be able to trace back your directorship unit from this obedience, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, because we were all about mindset, right? And like the nose, and that stinks, especially when you're going for something. As an outsider looking in, someone reminded me this in June, okay? It is so much easier for us to be like, oh my gosh, but the fact that you're getting this resistance really must mean that you're in the right spot, right? Like that is totally like Satan does not want you there, right? And so, absolutely so proud of you. Just let that confirmation be there.
Thank you.
Let's see. We're gonna wrap it up. If there's nobody else that needed to say anything, which y'all can keep on messaging her. Keep the love coming. And Jordan, when you were talking, just real quick, I know we're about to wrap up, but I found my all-star trip where I did the exercise you said, and like there's so many. I'm like, I'm a failure. Scratch it out. No, I am. We're so much more than that. So it's such a great exercise. Thank you so much for sharing everything. Thank you everybody for hopping on, and we'll see y'all again in February for Reds Plus.
Thank you, Mindy.
You're welcome.
Bye.